any other off suite that's open and the numbers to them so I can record them on camera tomorrow.
Right, now we're live. Now we're cooking with gas.
Now we're doing it.
All right. Hello. Sean Brady coming to you live with my partners in awesome media coordination. We got Jeni Fehr in the background and Alex Wood up in the front, taking over for Jaleesa, who's having some technical difficulties with her mouse today. So leverage your lunch. What's it all about? It's all about leveraging your mind over your lunch hour, whatever time of day, wherever you're at on the planet. You're going to be watching this on video, so it could be anywhere, and it's all good. So here's the topic of conversation today. It's simply this, Alex. It's simply this, Jeni. Indecision. Not deciding is deciding. So I must admit, I was not being responsible for my children, and something happened where there was a mess caused in the kitchen. Now, for those that know me, with Brady Eats, with my food in the background, I kind of particular about how things go in the kitchen. But a big mess was made and a big cleanup, and I just got really irate, and I got mad. I have to take responsibility for that because maybe I just, I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't having my daughter pay attention. And long story short, what I wanted her to do, which I want myself to do more often than not, usually when we get angry at other people, it's usually something that we do the most often. Like when we see a terrible driver on the highway, it's only probably because we're that driver once in a while. So getting back to decision, right? It's a lie, right? Alex
I've never been a bad driver.
Neither does Jeni, and I just met her. Actually, I didn't just meet you, Jeni. I met you further back because I looked up in my contacts. I had your Gmail email in there. So somewhere along the line, I don't know, we interacted before. I don't remember when or where, but we did. So going back to indecision and choosing, and the whole premise of this was, it's like, hey, look, do you accept my apology? And, I probably don't take the best teenage tactic as a parent, right? I'm not doing what the books say to do or the professional, counselors say to do. But I was asking, oh, hang on.
Uh-oh.
I'm back. I'm here. I'm using my phone, and I had a telemarketer calling me. So I don't know who it could be because the political polls are over. So I asked her, it's like, hey, do you accept my apology? Yes or no? And she's like, whatever. I'm like, don't give me a whatever. A whatever is querulous. A whatever is, means that you're not choosing one way or the other. You can choose to be happy and accept the apology, or choose not to and not accept the apology, which is fine. But if we stick in indecision, that causes basically hesitation in life. And Alex, I always love your colorful insights to these things. But what I walked away with was a bunch of other things like, he who hesitates is lost. And, hesitation can be possibly a subset of fear. If fear causes hesitation, it has us not want to act or respond in a certain way, then we have.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And fear may cause hesitation, but hesitation will make our greatest fears come true.
Yeah. So as far as indecision, because you're uncertain of which direction to go or how to act, and it's usually easier in the moment to just not do anything, to just not make a decision one way or the other. That's really easy in the short term, but of course it doesn't move any balls forward.
Correct.
And it's, again, we talk a lot about mindfulness on your lunch hour, but being aware and just paying attention to those emotions of hesitation.
Yes.
Those they can hold you back a little bit, but if you're paying attention, they can also be a flag to remind you that this is something important to pay attention to and make that decision and be more decisive. So, and using your example with trying to apologize to your kid, you made the decision to apologize, and I'd ask you, allowing them more time to think about it. That's something. Them having more time to think about it is something they may or may not need, but it is also your decision to allow for that or not, and just move on. Try to be better. Next.
Well, I did press the issue because, as I said, I'm kind of a jerk today. I don't know why. I'm just
we all have those days.
We have those days.
Uh-oh.
Right? I guess it's a Tuesday. I'm not even sure what I'm going to eat today, which is weird for me. Usually we have these things planned out, or I have a good idea what's going to happen. I know this is weird to say, but I'm saying it anyway. But I did push her on an answer, so that I was happy with the no. She said, "No, I don't accept your apology." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Good. At least you chose.
Yes.
You made a decision. Then you can move on with your day and not be, leave it up for me in the ether, but more so for her. That's complete one way. Now, is that the optimum outcome that somebody who's apologizing would want? No. And it does cause something in the world and for each other with other people with a no. Coming from a sales background and certainly marketing. Yeah, both of you guys are marketing, but ask the question. And let
this
it,
is not
Jen,
a marketing
you think
question.
of a good question.
When you
too,
apologize to someone,
yes,
are you apologizing because you want forgiveness and need his decision on whether or not someone's going to forgive you or not? Or are you apologizing because you feel bad and as a matter of principle, you need to apologize, regardless of what the other person's going to say?
Well, I think there's a little bit of both mixed in there.
Okay.
I learned, I don't remember when I picked this up, but it irks me sometimes when you say, "I'm sorry," right?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what are you sorry for? I mean, if it was an accident, it's like, yeah, I get your apologize, and you should apologize, right? But are you really sorry? Like, if sorry means like, it's like, oh, I was.
Are you saying it because you checked that box off your list, or are you saying it because you're genuinely apologizing?
I think an apology should always be made from a source of
sincerity,
genuine seriousness. Yeah.
Yeah, I think something you're hitting on earlier, though, like there's always a difference, like in between, like I regret that happened versus
yes,
I repent of my behavior.
Yes.
Being like moving forward, I don't want to make that mistake again. So that's where you come into a relationship and you say, "I'm sorry," and it doesn't actually matter whether they accept it or not because you are making it right with yourself and what you did before. If you go into something and you say, "I'm sorry," and you need
I
them
apologize.
To forgive you,
I don't want to be that way. I don't want to lose it. If you go and you need them to forgive you, then that's about you. It has nothing to do with being a better person. Right. Exactly. And I tried to explain that, like, look, this is not just one little isolated incident. It's a combination of all these things that are pent up and built up that I noticed specifically.
Sean Brady can get frustrated in the kitchen
when
things aren't going right. Yeah.
It's not just in the kitchen.
It's something he's working on.
We're all working on something.
Yeah.
But that goes back to the indecision. So the one thing I also wanted to share with people that I what also got present to in choosing, right?
Yeah.
I guess they teach us in the Marines of an acquaintance who I know who's a Marine said, it's like, look, if you don't know which way, if you come to a T in the road or you go into a room, you don't know which way to go, like it's not already pre-planned, don't stop. Go left, right? Because when we're stagnant and we stop, well, there's something else that's created in the pause as well. And that's usually, in most cases, not the desired result, especially in a tense situation. Unless it's conscious, right? So constant movement is what we want. And it's just like, if you stop a river from flowing and you dam it up, well, immediately, if you're not prepared for that, it's probably just going to knock something over and bulldoze it over. So having a choice and a plan on what you're going to do ahead of time is what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there you go. I put a few things up here, and we were talking about Vivino earlier. I've been rating all my wines and putting them out there. So I want one, if you ever use the Vivino app or you're not familiar with the Vivino app, I'm on there, and I like my rating system because it just makes sense to me. And it's not highfalutin. It's not a little etherical. It's like, well, how does this point, how come some points or systems are different? This is just my point system. And, it makes sense if I want to buy stuff again or not, how much I want to buy. So that's a little rating system. You can check it out there. And I had to start up another food blog as well, because the other one I think was a little corrupted. So look for that online as well. Sean J. Brady, I put it up there. And thank you, Jeni, for following me on Vivino.
No problem.
And I think, Alex, you were already following me, weren't you?
Maybe. I don't know.
If you're not, I'll have another follower. That'd be awesome.
I'm behind on my inbox. I need to go back.
Well, you can do it from your phone. That's the easiest way to sign up. But the cool thing is that I always try to pair food with the wine. It's like, hey, what would you want to eat with this? Whether we have Thanksgiving coming up, so there's cool stuff like that. Would you transition it before dinner? Could you drink it on its own? Would you want it with what? I like a lot of meat, but I always try this like, hey, this is seafood or something like that. So, or something spicy, right?
Or all of the above.
Or all the above. And that's a whole lot of wine.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right. So I'm choosing to move on and get the bumper ready.
Okay.
Was there anything else you guys had, though, to make this a fun thing? Jeni, thanks for first time on. Fabulous media coordinators. And that's what you get from Medici is not one or two, but even three.
But three.
Because there's always a backup. Because life happens in the business world.
Exactly.
And you need help. So thank you for Medici for providing that support.
Absolutely. Are we ready?
I'm ready. You got that bumper ready?
Got that bumper ready.
All right. Hey, everybody. We may not see you in person, but we'll always see you right here on social media. Thanks for watching. All right. Good stuff.